Well, here we go. Historically, Canelo does not like to get in a car or ride in a car. So I took that challenge on, and we're going to work through this a little bit. You can see he's really not too happy about it, so I'm giving him a lot of leash pressure. And then here, he gave me a foot, so I took off the leash pressure. This is one way to communicate that he's doing the right thing and moving in the direction I want him to. I know this is a big deal for him, so I'm going to just take this slowly. Did I mention Canelo doesn't like to get into a car? Boy, this guy's really putting up a lot of resistance. But he will get there, I know it. He's got it in him. Sometimes the first idea in dog training, or the way that you did it with the last dog, works, and sometimes it doesn't. Clearly, that was not working with Canelo, so I'm trying something else. This is kind of plan B. And so I got in the car, and I'm going to still use the same leash pressure, but it gives me a different vantage point, and it also allows him to know that I'm in there and it's okay. We've been working together for about a week, and we have a good bond going and some trust. So you can see there, yay, I got one paw on the door. So this is sometimes how slow this goes. It really just depends on the dog and the situation. There's a paw, there's two paws. He's really starting to think maybe I can do this, right? So once I actually get him all the way in the car, that's a big, big victory, because we've broken the seal on that fear, and I know we'll be able to repeat it. And here we go. Yay, and he goes. Now that we're in the car, I'm going to open the door and take him out the other door. This just kind of gives him an opportunity to walk all the way through the car and realize it's all not so bad. And now I'm going to walk him around and let him back in again. And we're going to repeat this several times, and you'll see it will get easier and easier each time, even though he protests. And you can see there, but he actually starts going further quicker. And so that's what you expect when you go through these processes, is it does get easier. Alright, now that we've gone in and out of the car several times, I want to start to teach Canelo not to rush out the door. This is a big safety issue when you're with your dog, making sure that they don't just come flying out the door until you're ready for them to. So, right now I'm just giving a little distance, a little leash guidance, and this is just kind of the easy beginning of things, much like any other threshold that we work on. Alright, now as soon as he gets in, we're going to use the door to help Canelo understand both that he shouldn't be rushing out the door, as well as whether the door is open or closed. He's to maintain his position. That's why I still have the leash in hand, and right now that's all I'm asking him to do, is not to rush out the door. So we use the door for spatial pressure to encourage him just to stay where he is. All right, so here Canelo is in the seat. I'm closing the door as I was before. He's getting kind of used to that now. I still have hold of the leash to encourage him to stay where he is. And just like with any other command that I'm proofing, I start moving around, opening the door, and then I didn't invite him out there. He tried to come out, so I give him a little leash correction, and you can see now he's staying. The idea here is I want him to be able to maintain his position until I invite him out, as I did there. All right, getting in the car is getting easier and easier, believe it or not. It still doesn't look terrific yet, but we're making a lot of progress here. And now I'm asking him not only to go in, but also to lay down on the seat. Ultimately, that's what I want from Canelo, is for him to lay down on the seat, chill out, and relax, and maintain. So this is him in his first attempt at that. He's done really well, and I'm just giving him some praise. And you can see the tongue hanging out there. He's really working for it. Believe it or not, this mental exercise is just as important as physical exercise. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for, the time when Canelo is really just more interested in getting in the car than he was, with almost no leash pressure whatsoever. I gave him some guidance. Right there, I'm not even holding a leash, and he's getting in on his own. That's a really big deal for a dog that's really sort of fearful of the car, didn't want to get in, as you saw earlier. I've got him now in a down. He's taking some food from me. He's getting a lot more confident with this, and I'm just really giving him a lot of praise for that. He's doing really well, and I have a lot of hope that he's going to be able to enjoy car rides with his family in the future. Now I don't even have the leash in my hand, and I'm moving around, and look how well he's maintaining. What a terrific pup. All right, our final car clip. I just wanted to show it at a different angle, how little pressure it's really taking me, and how much more it's really just on his own accord that he's getting in when I've invited him. So this is kind of the finish up of our day for getting in the car, and Canelo is ready to roll. All right, Canelo and I are taking advantage of the rain and working indoors. So this is one of those activities that you can do indoors and works really, really well. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting him in place. I'll go over to another place cot that's on the floor. I'll call him to me, and as soon as he gets to me, I tell him to place, and he will go down on the place cot into a full place command. Now I purposely have a smaller cot there, so he's got his original cot that will be going home with him. It's nice and big. Right there he broke, which I hadn't called him, so we're going to reset and put him back. But ultimately what I want is for him to be into a down position, in place on either cot, and wait for him to be called. Right there you can see he's just a little confused. The cot's smaller. This is a brand new thing that we're doing. He's never done this before, and so you always have to have patience during these times and understand dogs are not going to always get it right at the first time. There we go. He does really, really well there, and you can see he's very comfortable with his own cot. He comes over and he lays right down, and as I go on to the smaller cot, you'll see he does still struggle with that a little bit, but ultimately he's doing really well. So we're just working on duration and distraction by me walking around. And then we're going to come over to the place cot on the floor, the small one there, and we'll call him over. But right now I'm just giving him extra praise for not moving. Alright, so now I've got my long line out and I've pushed the cots back a little further. So with each distance is a bit more of a challenge, because on his way he can get sort of confused and start veering off. So this is the thing that we work on. But you can see there, when he goes to that cot, he does really, really well. He knows the cot, he feels comfortable there, and so he really nails that one. The one that he's still having a bit of a difficult time with is this smaller cot. It really does present an additional challenge, which is why I'm using it. You can see there he veered off a little bit. I was able to correct him, and I keep the e-collar on until he goes fully down. There he goes. So he's veering off a little bit right now, but this is going to get much, much better. And that's why I also stretch the cots out and just keep going with it. Alright, to end this exercise, I've got my even longer line out, and I've pushed the cots back even further. And but I keep the leash on because ultimately I want to continue to guide him and help him along. I am using the e-collar. I'm tapping when I call him, and I tap when I tell him to place. But I want to make sure that I can continue to guide him as well and be very fair about what I think he knows or what he doesn't know, and not try to put too much pressure, but really just try to educate him through the whole process. And lo and behold, he does get much, much better. It's kind of a theme for him, and you can see right there, I know I'm standing in the way, but he came right to me and laid right down on the cot, so that's gotten much, much better. And that's the deal. A lot of repetitions, helping the dog understand, helping the dog and guiding the dog is really key during any training session. Alright, at the end of a long day, it's time for some play. I do like to use play though while I'm training as well. So as far as Canelo's concerned, I put him in a down, and then I throw the ball to him, and off he goes. I've got a 100-foot long line on him to allow him to run a bit freer. He's not really ready to be completely off leash, but it does allow him to feel the freedom of being off leash. And you can see I've put him in a down stay there, and I'm walking ways away from him. I'm about 50 feet away from him at this point before I call him over. And I'm going to call him to me as a way to practice recall.
Canelo, come.
And then as soon as he gets to me, the reward is I'm going to throw it to him.
Yes.
Boom, and there it goes. He's just having a blast, and he deserves to have fun. And that's what we like to do at the end of each day, is just kind of have some fun and just enjoy hanging out together. That relationship building really helps in all the other areas. So play is a real big part of that.
Canelo.